Welcome to another episode of Singapore Real Estate Explained, where we dive deep into the numbers and go to the analysis of new launches. So for those of you who love going to East Coast Park, this might be a new launch that you'll be excited about. So Chris, you want to share about which new launch is upcoming?
Wow, okay, this new launch is very grand.
Okay.
It has a man inside.
A man?
Yeah, a man.
Anybody? So maybe we give the audience 3 seconds to think what man you're talking about.
Not just man, but Dunman. Okay, so it's called Grand Dunman. Okay, alright, so jokes aside, I mean, while we're talking about the Shift 15, and some quick facts before we actually hit into the development.
Yep.
Recently, we have been thinking, where exactly can we relax for our
weekly team bonding exercise.
And we went all the way from District 21, where we see that last time we talked about reserve residences.
Yeah.
We talked about a BFT workout, which I mean, a lot of people say nope. Rifle range walk, we actually did one already recently.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to East Coast Park, which we are looking forward to in the next few weeks.
Our weekly cycling, that will be our next exercise for our team.
And yes, indeed. Are you looking forward to it, East Coast?
I am.
You don't sound excited. But just aside, let's head on today to District 15 itself and look at another development called the Grand Dunman. And yes, this project was actually by SingHaiyi Group, a very big developer that from China came to Singapore and typically have been building projects since 2011.
And not just in Singapore, right?
Yes, also in USA, in Australia, and multiple other countries, some in Malaysia, even Penang. So the first one they did, fun fact, it was actually at this place called Chowton Residences at District 19, near to Hougang, Punggol area, the entire stretch. And that's our first flagship project. It's basically a strata landed, a terrace that have been now selling close to 4.7 million on Guru if you were to head on to their place now. But right now they have started to transit from strata landed to big projects. Like recently we have Park Clementi, we'll see later on. And now we have Grand Dunman.
So 1,040 units.
Yes, lots of units. Exciting.
It's hard. It's not common that we see such big developments come by.
Yeah, recently have been much less of it.
Yeah.
But 1,000 units. The last time I remember, it was actually at this place called Findia Serangoon. 1,000 plus, okay? And site area is quite big plot of land, 25,000 square meter. Plot ratio is 3.5, so we can build to quite some time. Tenure is 99. But downside is we don't have the development mix yet, but we will do some slight prediction of the pricing later on in terms of the different layout. Alright, so a SingHaiyi developer, they actually built quite a few projects over here. Some are quite familiar that we have sold some units here before. First one, we have Park Clementi at OCR. And Grace, you have been quite familiar with this area.
Yeah, somewhere close to home. And one of our clients actually bought into this place and they're actually looking to exit sometime next year. In fact, his unit has received response even during the sub-sale. And he's looking at a paper profit of about 200 plus K.
Yeah, 200 plus K. And yes, it is something that we see that people buying at 1,006 last time now. On average, on Guru, listing at 2,000 and above. And people are looking at this place because it's a good school area. And amazing, because you know what is the most beautiful thing about this development is that they have a lagoon. And like a beach area. And it's amazing facilities. So looking forward to the TOP of the project. And next we're Gazania, very interesting. Bali area, a freehold development at OCR, a Bali area. And yes, there was a season where it was a little expensive. Then there was a fire sale discount and it's now fully sold. So these are things that we are always catching in the market. But in short, typically the discount wasn't that great also. It was around 4 to 5%.
And this one was a smaller development also, right? About 250 units.
Yeah, very typical for this kind of development to have this kind of profile. Then you also have the Vales, which is one of the EC recently. One of our teammates just sold. Yeah. And amazing facilities. Come in nice hands. The pool is amazing. So one thing we notice incongruent with all these 3 developments, especially the bigger developments, is landscaping is something that this developer actually highly emphasized.
Yes.
All right. And next, let's take a look at the locality of this place. Okay, location-wise, Grace, want to share a bit more about this?
Okay, so let's look at the location for Grand Dunman. I'm Big Chris going to share a little bit more about the land parcel and where Grand Dunman exactly is.
Alright, so this is at almost a fringe of District 15, near to Old Airport Road, Dunman Road area. It's a very nice place. I know Dunman is everything of the Dunman High School. I mean it's first impression, but actually not near Dunman High Square at all.
Yep.
It's actually quite far away. But typically this road itself is actually at the fringe. And typically it's very near good schools like Chung Chun High, okay, and also Tanjung Katong Girls, okay. And but across the street, if you walk slow down, it's actually near to the Dakota area. And even further down, you'll go towards the Arjuni area. Yeah. But as I mentioned just now, this area itself is not the most central location in terms of District 15 core, District 15 like Amber area, but still a decent RCI location.
Still somewhere that's highly sought after for the residential enclave side.
Yeah, correct. And you look at in terms of MRT wise, what I love most about this development is just 1 minute, 2 minutes.
To Dakota.
And recently we have a client, I mean, whose kid actually studied over here. Yeah, Broadridge Secondary School.
Yeah, I was actually looking and was excited about this new launch coming up. But unfortunately, that was when the ABSD news of 60% actually came out.
Yep, and the sad fact, she's a foreigner.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, maybe I'll look at Australia instead. So these are things that, I mean, things will happen, but I mean, they are excited individuals who are looking at this development because of nearby schools or in fact, locality in fact. Yep. So one thing we need to take note is in terms of location wise, if you look carefully, it's actually quite near the upcoming BTO. So you see Dakota 1.
Yep.
Okay, Dakota Breeze. Dakota 1 is already in the midst of completion. And typically it gels very well. It's like, the fringe of District 15 where there's a lot of landed enclave. And then you go down, you have HDB. So it's, the hybrid area where we have both the neighborhood and also the District 15 locality itself.
Yep.
All right. And let's take a look at the schools. Schools wise, quite a good mix.
Yes.
Okay. We have Kong Hwa School, Tanjung Katong, okay, Head Girls, okay. And Sage Aji Katong, and a bit down into we have Tao Nan and Glen Methodist. And in terms of secondary school, we have quite a few. Okay, a bit down, it's not very near Dunman, but it's Dunman High. Okay, Chongqing High, Tanjung Katong, Sage IJ, and international school that's like Nexus.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing that, I mean, within 1 km, the only one that actually fit this criteria is actually Kong Hwa. Yeah, even if you look at Tao Nan or even Dunman, it's not within 2 km actually.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's something to take note when it comes to parents looking at schools. Yeah.
Okay, so for shopping areas, you're going to have a lot of them. You have Kinex Mall, Paya Lebar area, you have Singpost Center, PLQ where we normally head to for our yakiniku like. And then you have Paya Lebar Square, Kallang Wave. You have also I-12 Katong as well as Parkway Parade. So for amenities wise, you have quite a few options around you.
And in fact, yeah, PLQ is our favorite go-to area as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Like, we always head there for our gym. Lunch.
Because office is nearby.
Yeah, office is nearby.
Yeah.
And I want to Katong, I still remember, I had an amazing race there. To identify, where is the Asian, there's a lot of drawings on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's called a mural. Yeah, we basically a lot of artsy place in that place, and we have to go and find where is the treasure. So we really hunt. So it's one of the event here by Church and realize, wow, it's a place of heritage.
Yeah,
we are always looking forward to identify. Okay. And meanwhile, for other amenities, of course, the Old Airport Road have very nice food there. And Kallang Estate Market, Geylang Serai Market, near to the Juchet area, Hack Road Market. And a bit down, I mean, actually it's a distance away, East Coast Park, which is our favorite go-to next.
So for all you sporties,
yes.
you have all your East Coast Park, you have your Chinese Swimming Center, you have another Singapore Swimming Club, and then last but not least, your National Stadium. So you have a lot of choices for your amenities around there, and both local food as well as, all your restaurants in the shopping malls.
All right. Okay. But the key thing now is let's take a look at the numbers. Okay. That's the most important thing we're looking at. For Grand Dunman, okay, Central is we don't have the size of unit. So what we do is we took a very recent one, just a very proxy one. We look at 560 square feet. Okay, this is basically the layout of condominium, which is the one that is close proximity to the area and likely about the same time, launching about the same time. So it's this 560 square feet for the 1-bedder. 2-bedder is 646, 3-bedroom complex 872, 4-bedroom complex 1002, and then 5-bedroom is about 1000, 8009.
Yep.
Okay, so this is very similar with big development. So we will do a very slight comparative later on in terms of the qualitative analysis for each of the bedrooms.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so let's look at the surrounding land plot now. It will be something that we'll be familiar with. So Chris, maybe you can share with us about the surrounding land plots for Grand Dunman.
Alright, so surrounding land plot, you can take a look. Basically, there is Giant Tembusu,
One at the
Parcel
top.
A and Parcel B. In fact, Giant Tembusu A has already been launched, called Tembusu Grand. And typically right in front, you have the upcoming parcel that's under reserved site.
Yes.
So it's very close proximity. If you look at upwards, okay, which is not shown in this picture, we also have a container which is all at Tembusu Avenue right here. So it's flanked by quite a few proximity, a few land plot that is in the proximity that can be cashed against. Okay, and you can look at tender price, 1.2 billion. Huge.
A huge project.
Huge project.
Yeah.
Very rare. And that's something that, in
We'll
fact,
talk about a little bit more on the landed.
yeah. And in terms of Giant Tembusu, as I mentioned just now, okay, upcoming 840 housing units, very good comparable that is coming up to hatch against that. And that's something we are very, very excited about, because if you know what price this can launch at, okay, which and talk to us if you have any questions regarding this upcoming land price, we are able to see what is a upcoming Dunman Grand pricing that we can hatch against to actually make the profit margin. All right. And next, let's take a look at the bids that I received.
Yeah. So for this plot of land, I actually received only 2 bids. The top bid was by SingHaiyi at 1.284 billion or 1,350 per square feet. The second place actually went to a consortium that included CDL, Hong Leong Group and TID.
Wow, all the big players.
Yeah, with a bid of like 1.067 million. Or at 1,122 per square feet. So we can actually see there's quite a huge difference in the bidding price.
Yes, indeed. And only 2 bidders.
Yeah. So this actually also shows that, developers are a little bit, I guess, wary when bidding such big lands, because ultimately, whether it's a small plot of land with lesser units or big, they all have the same QC time of 5 years.
Correct. So the bigger the plot of land, the more rush you have to sell the units by.
Yeah.
So that's when, if you bid a big plot of land, there's developers are a little more, as I mentioned, cautious. And that's why they even mentioned over here, they mentioned that a restrained attempt to compete by the lower bidder. So it's as though no CDL just came and say, hey, this guy is bidding, okay, I just try. Try.
Yeah.
But not really competitive to bid a
That's
big
why we
plot
see
of
a
land.
20% actually gap between the first and second. And we only saw 2 bids in this plot of land.
Correct. But once again, in terms of whether this is a sign of developer confidence, that's definitely one thing. But the key thing is the launch price. How will market reset? We should understand a bit more later on in terms of the quantitative and qualitative analysis.
Yes.
All right. So next, let's take a look at the surrounding land bids. It's quite interesting, as I mentioned just now. Okay, the first one is Head Road. Okay, 173, 183, which is, you look at it, it's freehold, but it's a small plot of land, 2,000 break even, so launching around 2,324, but very hard to compare. Then we had Dunman Grand over here, called Dunman Road, sold and awarded later in 2022 at 2,001 for 99.
So about 883 per square feet difference.
Yeah, 83 per square feet. But one is big, one is small, so it's quite comparable, eye to eye. But typically, in terms of big development, definitely PSN should be commanded higher because it's better development. Then after that, we have Condominium. Condominium itself is launched in just recently, in fact, just a few weeks ago, 2021. Okay, they bought earlier. That's why the big event was 2,296.
Yep.
Yeah, so interesting. Condominium, they knew that they could have bought at a higher price.
Yeah.
So what they did is they waited for 1 year, 2 years, and they said they strike because they know that the market
it's
is
the
hot.
right time in the market right now.
The time in the market. So that's why even with them striking around 28% sold, it's still okay. Not too bad.
Because we have to take into consideration it's also a big development itself.
Correct. Which you'll see later on in a few kind of developments, with river facing, etc. We will foresee this kind of a big development being sold at tranches, not really like one shot.
Yeah.
Okay. And next up, in terms of Tembusu Grand, okay, that's something that we hedge against. The launch price on average is around 2,005 per square feet. And then we have the small development, long time they bought in 2020. They got a good price, break even 1,005, launched at 1,009. But small development, and this is nearer actually to more Geylang side, so that's something that we are not looking at. And then we have something that bought way at 2017.
Amber Park.
Freehold, launched at 2005. Last time you say it's crazy pricing.
But look where we are today.
Yeah. I mean, the land bid prices, because the supply is always outstripped by the demand.
Yes.
All right. And why we important look at all this bid price, because from there we can foresee what is a approximate launch price we look at for Dunman, and at the same time compare to the upcoming land bids. So for this, if you let Dunman Road, which is Grand Dunman, break even is 2001, estimated around 25.
So normally we take about 20% estimate for the developer's profit margin.
Yeah, but based on what we foresee, because of Continuum and Tembusu Grand, which is around 45, 50 plus percent sold for Tembusu Grand, Continuum 28% or 29% up to date. So typically, we foresee the Dunman Grand Dunman will be a little more wary in the launching.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look at the developer's break-even price estimate. So by taking a look at the break-even price, we can kind of guess what's the launch price for the developer. So taking into account construction costs as well as marketing, estimate break-even is about 2120. So if we look at the margin of about 10%, average launch per square feet will be about 2332. About 15% margin, we bring the PSF to be about 2,438. A 20% break-even margin, you'll see the PSF to be about 2,544. And then the next one will be a 25% break-even margin. It will give you a PSF about 2,650. So personally, Chris, what do you think will be the average launch price, or what do you think the margin will be for this developer?
To be honest, with the average rate of going around 15 to 18%, I know about 2.4 is something that I expected. But given the recently the market for Continuum in the area and also for Tembusu Grand wasn't really doing well, 50%. Okay, wasn't doing as well as the few launches that was launched last year.
And we're seeing quite a lot of supply in this area coming up.
Correct. So they'll be a bit more wary. So I'm looking at a low, actually 15 to 10%. So that's something I want to predict. If you see the next slide, the indicative starting prices, because we don't have the size or even the indicative PSF even.
Yeah.
So that's why we are using a very rough matrix to see what is estimated launch price. And using this later on, we look at a qualitative comparative to see whether this is something that we can enter for each of the bedroom type. So first up, we have the one bedder. Assuming it's a 560 square feet unit. In Quantum, we're looking at around 1.316 million. PSI-wise around 2350, which is a 10.8% above break-even. That's something that we feel they would start from. Or in fact, even I won't be surprised if there's almost an indicative average even. Yep. Okay, because as I mentioned just now, both Continuum and Tembusu Grand has a record of not being able to move as fast. So in order to move as many units as possible for big developments like this, 1,000 plus unit, that's something that we want to hit towards.
We're going to see developers being more wary about the pricing also.
Correct. And that is how they actually move this place called High Park Residence, where people, if they were to buy at close to break-even price, they're able to leverage on this at launch day to make a profit from it. Yep. Okay, next up, two-bedder, we're looking at 1.54 million. Okay, two-bedroom plus study is 1.669 million. Three-bedder is 2.105 million. Okay, Premier Deluxe is made 2.895 million. And four-bedroom at 3.8 million. Which, wow, I remember this price, if you remember, is what Jervis bought at for his freehold at Mayor Mansion.
Yeah. So I think he must be very happy right now.
Yep, for something that is about similar size with a 3+ study kind of concept.
Yes.
Yep, so there's some things that we always look at to make sure that the buyers get the best deal in the market. All right, so next up, let's take a look at the quantitative analysis with the projection. So first up, we have the one bedder. So one bedder itself with R square value is going at 0.378. In fact, this is quite repetitive in terms of compared to Tembusu Grand, which we actually did this before, so we won't be going very deep into it. But on average, you can see in the future, one bedder, because of demand in the area not being very high, they're going around 2007, indicative for 99 year. Okay, meanwhile, for two bedroom, that's something that's very interesting. According to the district average, we look at a 0.56 R square value. For quantitative analysis, if you have yet to see this, do head back to our Tembusu Grand video and also our reserve resident video where we repeatedly mentioned how do we do quantitative analysis.
We went into detail so you can see of how we actually use this data to predict the prices.
Yep, you're right. And typically, if you look at R square 0.56, x-axis is the year is built, y-axis being the PSF. We do have a decent correlation where we can see a 99 year by 2027 going to 2009. But of course, these are all indicative. We should look at the qualitative to refactor in. And one thing to take note for Grand Dunman especially, as I mentioned, it's not really District 15, like Condominium, even Tembusu Grand to some extent. It's more at the fringe,
Yes.
closer to Dakota. So it's a very fine thin line where you may have to net off another 5 to 10% off to give you around 27 to 26 even if you want to be more conservative. Okay, in terms of this pricing. And next up, okay, 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom R square value is 0.557, about the same, higher than normal, but one is 0.5. It's about 2007. You net off, it's close to 2006 in this area. And last but not least, let's take a look at the 4-bedroom for District 15. By itself, R square value is 0.65%. The predicted 99-year launch. Okay, I mean the final price for 4-bedroom will be going close to 2946. Factor out the premium of not being in heart of District 15, you may look at around 27 to 28. Okay, so for more of these numbers, do approach any of our brokers. We're more than happy to share more about a more detailed analysis for each of this unit. Yep. And with that, let's end off with this.
The transformation for this place.
Yeah.
So I think every time when we look at the new launch, we always look at what's the transformation around the area because we want to know what's the potential for it, right? So I think looking at URA master plan for Geylang area, Marine Parade area actually has some good things in stock for the residents here at Grand Dunman. So you have a lot of commercial developments in the north around the Paya Lebar central area. And then you also have more HDBs coming out at Dakota Crescent. So this also shows that, when you want to exit in the future, you have HDB upgraders around your area. So this is also an exit strategy that you have to think about when entering the new launches.
And notice that upcoming new MRT station, but okay, honestly, it's on the very far side. But typically, these are the whole East Coast Park transformation also. That's something that we are looking for. There was spill effect to this area. But once again, the two things I mentioned, so it's a little more far-fetched. I won't be looking at that, but more of the Paya Lebar and Dakota area that is going through transformation that we're looking at. Alright, so that's what we have for the first part of Grand Dunman analysis, where we look at the quantitative and also the attributes of this development.
Yeah.
And as usual, we always end out with our favorite, Joey's not mine, but Joey's favorite, Bois approach. Okay, even Grace is laughing at it, but it's an interesting name, Bois, which is buy, wait, or avoid. So let's take a look. Okay, we'll count 3, 2, and 1, and we decide what is our answer in our heart. Alright. So let's go. 3, 2, 1. Wait. Oh man, it's always something you really want some variation. But I guess our investment team is quite aligned. Just let you know we don't have any rehearsal before this. But typically, yes, Grace, why do you say wait?
Okay, so I think when we enter into a new launch, so like Jarvis always mentioned, entry price is the most important. So I think that's something that we're very excited to see, how the developers will actually launch it by looking, through how condominium and Tembusu Grand has been faring. I think the developers would be a little bit more wary on their pricing. So this could also prove to be an opportunity for those who are looking in this area. And, taking into account the upcoming transformation, there's an exit strategy where you have a pool of HDB upgraders. So this is something that will be very interesting to see coming up. So how about you, Chris?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you, Grace. Really, when you look at this development by itself, the entry price, it presents a very sweet spot because it's something that is close to Dakota, but it's not like District 15. Okay, but yet it's within District 15. So it's a very, very interesting mix.
Yeah.
So in terms of PSL launch, I believe they may pull a High Park residents, which if you know High Park residents, when they launch, because you're wary, they have 1,500 units. They didn't dare to launch high and they just want to clear units so that they'll be able to get some profit at the start. Maybe let's say even some may launch at 5% of a break even.
And this proves an opportunity for those who enter at the start because then you have developers start to price stage for you towards the end of it.
Yes, correct. And although High Park so around 40+% when it launched, but subsequently you can see the price stations came in and it started to jack up, especially when the market confidence recover. Yeah. So it's something that I'm very excited for actually, and I hope that developer will be more reasonable pricing, especially after the fear from Condominium at Tembusu Grand, as you have mentioned. So that's all we have for today for our analysis for new launches for Grand Dunman. Thank you for watching yet an episode of Singapore Real Estate Explained. My name is Christian.
And my name is Grace.
And see you guys. Bye.
Bye.